Hey humans, it's Hannah. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, I do videos on creepy and disturbing things. So if that's also your thing, consider subscribing down below. So just a few days ago, these security photos came up and wow. A lot of people think that we have got real proof of a little ghost. Let me explain the story behind the photos. So basically a man had been murdered and he was buried in this cemetery. The family had noticed that his gravesite kept getting vandalized, which that's just horrible. And they were suspecting that maybe his murderer was the one that was coming and vandalizing the site. So in order to catch the vandal and then hopefully the murderer, they put surveillance video in the graveyard that is close to this man's grave to watch over it and see if they can catch somebody. Instead of the vandals, they catch these photos of this toddler that's going up to his gravesite and then is seen going away. So supposedly, according to the story, this little girl seen in the photos is believed to be a toddler that was also murdered, and she was laid to rest in this same cemetery. When mom saw these photos, she said she recognizes the little girl in the pictures as her daughter Faviola. So let's analyze the photos a little bit themselves. From doing some research, some say that there is a man or an adult that's squatting or standing off the right side of the photo. People have taken pictures and enhanced it, and I don't see anything. It's weird that the little girl is so clear, and if there was an adult with her, you'd think that you'd be able to see them too, but you cannot see them at all. I can kind of see what they're talking about, but I don't see how it's proof that it's an adult or another human. And if it was, it could be a ghost too. Others say that they see car headlights in some of the photos, but I think those could easily be just lights in the graveyard itself, as they have headlights shining towards some of the tombs. Another thing you might notice about some of these photos is that on the bottom right corner, it says 5 o'clock and that it's 102 degrees outside. So some people said that this means that this footage was taken at 5 o'clock in the afternoon because it'd be 102 degrees. So likely it wouldn't be the middle of the night. But just so everybody knows, to be clear, that's not part of the security footage. That's part of the news channel that was talking about this, and they had their mark at the edge of the screen. So that's just what time and what temperature it was when they were broadcasting this. And it is New Mexico that this takes place. So 102 degrees is believable. Then the mom of the toddler herself has come forward and said that she has no doubt in her mind that this is her daughter. She recognizes her in the photos. She's absolutely sure that this is her ghost or her angel. And mom thinks that she has come to help James, the victim of the other murder, be led to heaven and laid to rest as well. I'm not religious myself, but this is just what some people have said, that maybe she is an angel and she was sent from heaven to try and help him come to heaven as well, since he didn't have the opportunity to truly be at peace. So y'all know I'm very, very skeptical. I really want to believe in ghosts, but I just don't for the most part. So here are some reasons why it may not be real. There is one photo that you see that does look like she's running away, running from the gravesite probably towards an adult. She also does not look translucent or like she's floating at all. She looks like a solid person. I mean, nobody really knows how translucent ghosts are, because some say that they see them as solid and some say that they're not. But if you're looking at them as this floaty, see-through person thing, then it doesn't really look like that at all, but who knows? You can't see her face in the photos, so you can't definitively say that it's the girl or the toddler that was the murder victim. I mean, mom might have that instinct, but you can't definitively say that when we can't actually see her features and identify her for sure. And I'm only speculating here, but maybe it's the kid of the person that set up the camera. For whatever reason, they set up the camera in the middle of the night, and so the little girl was there with this person and then was seen running towards them as they went to go get back in the car. That seems like almost a stretch to even me, because I don't know why they'd be doing it in the middle of the night to set up the cameras. I think they would have set it up during the day. The biggest piece to me is that there's no video that I could find of this. You can't actually see the video of the little girl. You can only see photos and screenshots of this surveillance footage. So first of all, it doesn't really prove that it's surveillance footage, and there's not even timestamps on the actual surveillance footage that would mean it came from a surveillance camera. But it also seems weird to me that if this was something they truly saw, why wouldn't they have released the video to everybody so that we could actually analyze it ourselves? That is the most suspicious part of this story to me. But here's a few reasons why it is actually convincing and might be real. First of all, why the would a tiny child, a toddler, be wandering around a cemetery in the crack middle of the night? You really cannot prove from what we have that there's an adult there. You can kind of see that figure people say is an adult, but according to the family, they think that's another ghost that the girl is leading away. And to me, you cannot prove that there's an adult in the photo. You can't see any. There could totally be one off camera, but as far as we know, the little girl is wandering around the cemetery in the middle of the night. If it's not a ghost, how did she get there? I don't know. I always like to believe in the most plausible explanation, which would be that it's not a ghost. But I also think that it's extremely strange that a little toddler would be wandering around a graveyard in the middle of the night, even if she was accompanied by an adult. Just why? Even if a parent and a child visited a graveyard in the middle of the night, the cemeteries usually close after hours. It's probably frowned upon that people are just wandering around aimlessly. I guess they could if there wasn't a gated community and nobody would know they were there, but that seems like a really strange hobby to do with your child, let alone a toddler. So if it is real footage, then we actually just found proof of ghosts. But if it's not, and it's the more plausible explanation that it is a toddler wandering around in the middle of the night, I have concerns about that too. Because even if it's not ghost footage, it's concerning that somebody's taking their 2-year-old out in the middle of the night. Isn't it past their bedtime? Why are they in a cemetery? If ghosts are real and you believe in ghosts, why would you take them to ghosts? I don't know if we'll get more details about this because it feels like this is just one of those things that comes out and then people forget about, like that guy and his kids who saw the swinging, which was not the wind, they said, and they thought that was proof of ghosts, and then it just kind of went away and nobody ever discovered if it was actually true or not. I really want to know exactly what this is. Either way, I hope it gave the mom some peace because I don't want to disrespect the families at all, because I know that if it actually gives mom peace and if she knows in her heart that's her daughter, then I don't want to take that away from her, if that makes sense, because I do understand how feeling like she was doing good in the afterlife is going to give you some comfort, especially because I don't believe that the little girl ever got justice, at least not yet. When discussing this in the comments, let's keep that in mind, that a real child and a real man were actually murdered and that the ghost thing is separate from that. That being said, let me know in the comments below if you have any other ideas of what this could be, because I am very skeptical about it, but I'm also really fascinated, and so far this seems almost convincing to me. Almost. I will see everybody next time.